Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
So, firstly, guys, sorry, got the Stop the Rot tracksuit through today. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, and the pants as well, guys, with the Stop the Rot down the leg there. All right, so, yeah, Guru will be out in fashion in the upcoming weekends. Well, look at it as the weather's coming on, but what a statement. We're all so switched on, don't you? You know, like, you know, I've got here near halfway through the year, how long? And then you come in with a frigging comment like that, you know? And yeah, guys, how long? I don't know, but we're halfway through another year, you know, and we did not really, when we started this, we didn't think we were going to be. When we went to Epic, we thought we were ending it, you know? Like, yeah, Phil, I was on, had to listen to your mate today, actually. That was, what's his, I forgot his name now, Jim Price, actually. Yeah, say good day to him, mate. And, but yeah, guys, how long? I don't know, but the Matrix is in a spin out there. And the reason it is a spin is because of you people. All right. We have done a miraculous job, guys. I'm going to say it again because we have. All right. But we just have to keep going. Okay. So they're coming a little bit harder. They're coming at us in a few different ways. We've had one of our people arrested. He's out now. When they're ready to talk about that, they will. They'll come on the show and let us know. That was at Maggie's on Monday. So, yeah, they're just starting to pick us off. And just what they're doing, guys, you know, you can see the Masons are panicking because of the, you know, the language that was used on this this person when they were, you know, arrested and taken in there. It's all fear factor. That's all they want to do is scare you. Same as what's going on now around the environment, guys. It's all about scaring the shit out of you, you know. There's another big strain coming. Well, listen, ouch. There could be another, ouch, that hurt. There could be another big strain coming, guys. All right, strain of what? Influenza B, being modified. All right. But yeah, we do. We have to dismantle the digital prison. You're exactly right, Darwin. Good to see you on, actually. Yeah, how are you? You have to get you back on the show soon. Yeah, look, it's this is where we are, guys. But they're copping a lot out there. All right, they are really copping a lot. you know, they're in turmoil. We got down in Tasmania, the Premier is set to be booted from the job down there, you know, so hopefully that's a good thing. I haven't really looked into it. They're trying to get the fear into us over tomatoes, guys. Well, guess what? We just ordered tomatoes just about half an hour ago with the rest of our veggies that are coming in from the week from over at the fresh, well, as fresh as can be. Yeah, farm over the back of the mountain. So, yeah, but they're on about these tomatoes, guys. They're, you know, tomatoes, eggs, all the things that we know are good for you. Okay. Major delays to Albo's agenda. Well, you know, that would be good because Albo's agenda is the New World agenda. We know that. Labor to increase taxes to fund boondoggles of green energy. So, you know, they're still pushing, bad man Bowen's still pushing shitloads of energy, even though, you know, we've just seen the one after 20 years in Western Australia being brought down. We're seeing them all around the world, you know, companies pulling out of wanting to do it. But these guys, they've sold us, people. All right, they've signed on the dotted line. There is no turning back for these Masonic mothers. All right, and they've got us to where we are now. Bad news, Anthony. He doesn't want to talk about all the things that mean something, guys, but we're sunk to per capita recession. Australia sinks into a per capita recession. So well done, Albo. You're ripping us down like we knew their plan was, and you've done well, you cretin. And then here we go. You think they're coming at your, you know, they've just allowed now the lab-grown meat guys. Now, 270 South Australian jobs cut as major abattoir announces closure. So, yeah, no, you got to try and look after our health by telling us what we can and can't do and what we can and can't eat. The problem is everything they tell us to eat and have is not much good for you. So here we are, guys. We got this arm in arm, Philip. You're dead right, mate. We have got it. We just got to keep going. Go whenever you're right, Kazza.
Yeah. It's good. We got it. All right. You can see our influence all over the place here. Listen to the language here. Oh, hang on. Something's going on with my.
Oh, look out! How strange.
Try this.
Is insane. There are police cars rocking up left, right, and centre for a protest march against Woodside. That's what happens in Western Australia. If you protest against Woodside, you're going to get this happening. You're going to get cop cars, 3 or 4 of them, rocking up onto the sidewalk. What is the crime, officers? What is the crime? The crime is jaywalking. She went across a red light. 3 cop cars, about 8 cops for crossing a red light. That's what you do when you're holding a banner against Woodside. You can get locked up in a police car for crossing at a red light.
Hey, Woodside Petroleum, guys, you know who they are.
But like, it's just crazy. But the good thing about it is, where a lot of us are using similar language. Like, did you notice his language there? He said, "What is a crime?" And that's the question that we haven't been asking enough, and we're all starting to ask it. What is the crime here? You know, and you can actually see from this one what is the crime.
Side father has fought off machete-wielding teens as they tried to smash their way into a bedroom where the family had taken refuge. In an exclusive interview with 7 News, the tradie dad says they no longer feel safe in their own home.
2 teenagers armed with machetes storm a Bayside home. A horror wake-up for a family of 5.
I heard the knocking, saw through the camera they had a machete, ran upstairs, grabbed the girls and came straight in back to my bedroom where Anna was.
The father of 3 barricaded his family inside.
And shouted at him, "Get out of the house, get out of the house." Really pushed, yeah, because you could feel him really kicking and trying to.
It happened last Wednesday. The family frantically called police while the young criminals ransacked their Elsternwick home, stealing a Toyota Land Cruiser, handbag and credit cards.
Anna confronted him and he got back out of the car.
I was shouting and screaming and calling for help. At one point he was running towards me.
The 39-year-old father is now keeping these under his bed. He believes the new machete ban won't fix the state's crime crisis.
Oh, really? I wonder why he would think that. Just because we all think it.
Mate, look, all by design, guys. There's only one way to stop this, and that's get back hold of our communities, get back hold of your schools, your councils, all right, and make the change, all right, because this is all by design. Yeah, them two. I think the other two that stabbed the guy and that the ex-footballer guy I saw today, but they're out on bail. Or one's getting out by August, another one's already out. It's just bullshit. It is like our mate says on Justice Matters. Yeah, that's bullshit, and that is.
No, that's right. And it's heading towards this. So in the UK, there have been over 1,000 arrested in a month for social media bans. So this is what's coming. Once they're settled in, they'll start basically doing that. They'll start basically doing that with us. Now, what's interesting is there has been a call for firearms here.
I give notice that on the next sitting day, I will move that leave be given to bring in a bill for an act to amend the Constitution Act of 1902 to establish a right to possess and carry firearms and for related matters. Constitution Amendment Right to Possess and Carry Firearms Bill.
Thank you.
Did you hear the background? Did you hear the more?
Oh,
they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is wrong with us being able to defend ourselves? Well, we can actually defend ourselves against them. That's the issue.
You can't have that because the idea is to wipe out the Anglo-Saxon, and it'd be the Anglo-Saxon that'll want to have guns. So no.
Oh dear. Look, you just mentioned what's going on with the economy, and it's not good.
It's bad.
Like, obviously, it is bad. It is actually really bad. Let's have a look at this. So first of all, you've got all right. So you've got these figures here. These are the new taxes. Okay. And then on top of that, you've got this. So Matt Barry has made the observation. It's been reported by the what was it? Can't see who it's been reported by, but anyway, look, the eggs are going to be at up 18.6%, education at 5.2%, HH services 5.2%, milk at 29%. Energy 8.3 to 9.3%, fruit and veg 6%, gold 22%, housing is just basically skyrocketed. So it's not looking good. But this guy, I don't know who he is, guys. Find him out. He runs by the handle Two Worlds Collide. But he has just nailed really how bad it is and explained it.
Cost of living crisis that was made in Canberra. And for that, we have to look at the M2 money supply. The M2 money supply is nearly all the money in the system. That's physical cash plus your savings plus term deposits. Still very real, still very spendable. And the government keeps printing it like it's monopoly money. From 2019 to 2025, Australia's M2 money supply doubled from 1.13 trillion to 2.26 trillion. That's a 100% increase in just 5 years. And guess what? It took nearly 50 years from 1972 to 2019 to print the first 1.13 trillion. Then just 5 years to print the next 1.13 trillion. That's not growth, that's economic sabotage. If your bank account didn't double, you got robbed. Now, the government lies about inflation all the time. You've been told that CPI is the true cost of inflation, but that's only half the story. Here's the real impact. CPI plus money printed, and I'm going to break it down. In 2021, CPI was at 2.84%. The amount of money they printed to add into circulation was at 9%. That gives you a real impact of 11.8%. 2022, CPI 6.62%. Money printed 12%. The real impact 18.6%. 2023, CPI 4.05%. Money printed 8%. The real impact was 12%. 2024, CPI 2.42%. The money printed 6%. The real impact 8.4%. Now, that's a total impact of 51% in just 4 years. Your money didn't go further, it went backwards. And they're still doing it now. And what's the fallout of this? You're currently living with it. Petrol, that's up over 30%. Grocery bills, they climb every single week. Rent and mortgage repayments are crushing families. And wages, they have barely moved. Australia has the lowest wage growth in the developed developed world. And what's the government doing? They keep spending like addicts. Here's the fix, but they won't do it. They need to cut the fat, review and eliminate all non-essential wasteful programs like DEI garbage and overseas aid. We need to start putting Australians first. Let us use our own natural resources for cheap energy. And when we do sell it, tax our natural resources properly when they leave the country. Then use that revenue to pay off the national debt and to get in the green. Then balance the damn budget. Run the country like a business, not a circus. And stop printing money to cover incompetence. That's what's making your dollars worthless. Because eventually there'll be nothing left to borrow and nothing worth printing. The system is broken and they broke it. And if we don't fix it, Australians will be the ones paying for it in the future. What's your thoughts?
Well, he's right, and the Courier Mail is running with this headline, and Topher has made the observation that Australian house values are not going up. The dollar is devaluing. Yes. Oh, Dave, you're mute.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, they're going to start and rip everything off the shelves. They're going to devalue everything, guys. All right. You are going to see the food side of it first. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to really come at hard. They're setting it up now. So be warned, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you should be growing your veggies, guys. You should be like getting your communities going and looking after yourself. Okay, because they are going to make it very difficult. And apart from that, everything you're buying, right? We do not shop at any Coles, any Woolies, no IGA anymore, guys. It can be done. Okay, and we live on a boat. All right, it can be done. All right, you can do it. Get away from the system. Stop giving them money. All right, once we stop giving them money, they're gone. But you are actually spending money to buy poison to poison your family. Go and check it out, guys. Anything that is packaged or manufactured is no good for you, whether that be healthcare, eyeliner, you know, beauty products, plastics. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, actually, Chris Manza said that the tobacco tax is not working. So Chalmers has basically got a solution. Oh, we'll just monitor it better. Look at this.
I agree with Chris. He's a friend of mine. I work closely with Premier Minns. I don't think the answer here is to make cigarettes cheaper for people. I think the answer here is to get better at compliance. I'm not proposing to cut taxes on cigarettes to make them cheaper for people. We've seen tax revenue for cigarettes come down for two reasons. One of them's a good reason, one of them's a bad reason. The good reason is fewer people smoking. The bad reason is we know that we've got a challenge when it comes to illegal tobacco. That's why we've provided two substantial amounts of money in two consecutive budget updates to work with the states on compliance. And so
compliance means control.
Exactly. More control, more compliance. Listen, we got a question. Someone just said, what's going on with Trump and Elon? I got no idea, but I do know, guys, that Elon, if you're looking at that side of things, was only on for 130 days as a special envoy. Okay, or something like that, his title was. So, you know, and then and that 130 days just was the other day when he, you know, back out of what he was doing. So what's going on with him? I don't know, guys. I'm not really watching the movie. I'm trying to fix the scene over here in Australia, so I haven't really, and as you said, I'm no Wi-Fi during the day for me, guys. I'm off all that stuff. The other thing was, Chris Minns, he lost Rose Hill Racecourse, Caz. He couldn't get that for a redevelopment. Now he's thinking about Long Bay Jail. You know, just throw that. Like, this is just all distraction. Now we've got the Madeleine case coming back up. You know, we know what happened to that girl. We've looked into that. When I first started these podcasts in America, they were looking into it. And I'm telling you right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's the family, mate. It was a ritual. We know what happened. But here they are bringing it up again. Oh, we got a new lead. Bullshit. It's distraction.
Well, there's a lot of that around. In the meantime, we've got a whole heap of COVID stuff going on as well. So you've got this headline. There's why so many people in there are having strokes in their 20s, 30s, 40s. We've never had patients so young. So I don't know. Maybe you can help them out,
why. There's an elephant in the room, and no one can see it because they're all got their head up its ass. Anyway.
You've got Angus Daglish, and he's actually doubled down on this, and good on him.
About viruses and cancer. I mean, I have written books on viruses and cancer, so I know all about the oncogenic viruses. The coronavirus is not an oncogenic virus. It is only capable of being an oncogenic virus if you stabilise that RNA, and then that can interfere with the genes that unlock and unleash effects. So I really take issue that that's got nothing to do with it. And I really do take issue that the vaccine programme has saved anything significant. And I made a statement that I do believe now that the vaccines have probably killed more people than they've ever saved. Forget the cancer. I mean, the heart attacks, the myocarditis, the strokes, neurological problems. They're enormous. And I'm just saying, hey, I'm starting to see the cancer thing.
Well, he is, and also it's been observed by in this situation where now this is actually Gert Vanden Bosch. His COVID vaxxers are triggers for tsunami death, and he's actually said down here that he expects a tsunami of death, driving aggressive turbo cancers, heart failure, and the immune system. Myocarditis is a silent killer, strikes young males. Okay, Japan is reporting a staggering 4,900% rise in heart failure cases.
Okay, and for someone's asked a question about William Tyrrell, I can assure you, as far as I know, with the info that we have done researching into that, my wife, you won't see that little boy again. I'm very sorry. William will not be seen again. Okay.
You've also got this situation as well where the Australian government removes the recommendation of COVID-19 gene jab for healthy infants. So we are having some wins. We are actually having some wins. But I like it, the satire.
They're having wins, Caz. They're having wins, darling, because every time a baby is born in this country, it's either getting aborted or shot with a friggin' poison as soon as it comes out the womb. One of the two. Embryo cut off.
We're just clawing it back, though. So, we've got one done, next one to do. But I like the sire of this. It says experts claim air raid sirens should be used to let people know when a new COVID strain is circulating, leading to quicker quelling for vaccinations. It's satire.
I really have to even listen to it. That's insane.
Well, it is.
They're just wrapping it on, aren't they? This is the best movie that we've ever been in. Most destructive movie.
That one's satire, and it's but we do have an issue because they've got this MNEX spike COVID-19 vex. So, but anyway, but we're getting there. Just taking time. It's taking more time than I had hoped. But
tomatoes, eggs, meat. They're taking. They're poisoning all the rest, guys. All your barley, all your crops, everything like that. I told you before, no one's allergic to what is it? What is it? That stuff? Gluten. That's a load of bullshit. You're allergic to glyphosate. Roundup. That's what you're allergic to. And anyone out there, all right, if you want a good poison, all right, get this. We've done it. We've used it at a mate's place, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'm telling the council about it. Billy Glancy. You should watch the show because I'm trying to get in touch with you, mate. You need to ring me back from council. 2 cups of pool salt, guys, for, your pool, saltwater pool. 2 cups, 4 litres or 1 gallon of vinegar, white vinegar, and a couple of drops of dishwashing detergent. Put that in your spray bottle. All right, give that a shake up and spray, guys. That is better than Roundup. I'm telling you, and it hurts nothing. So we don't have to be using all this stuff. We got natural products out there that work. You go and try that one. 2 cups of salt, 4 litres of vinegar, and a couple of drops of dishwashing liquid. Spray that on you and watch them die, man.
Yeah, well, actually, if we get to it, anyway, we'll just go on with this. So, I did not know about these experiments, but it doesn't surprise me. Listen to this.
Aware that in World War II, our own Australian government took our own Australian soldiers up to the Atherton tablelands to experiment on them with mustard gas. My Uncle George was one of those men. He thought he was going on a top secret mission and he signed a secrecy agreement. These men were exposed to mustard gas to see how much they could take until they became unfit for duty. Sound like the Holocaust? They received shocking burns. Those who survived received no medical aid or pension and couldn't get help because they were not allowed to tell their doctors what had happened to them. My father was given 3 reasons, separate reasons, for my uncle's death from Freedom of Information. And in going through paperwork at the War Memorial just yesterday, I came across the Roll of Honour. And now here's a 4th one. Permanently and officially, my uncle's death is now listed as a suicide. Not true. Have you been to the Lake Barine Tea House? It's a beautiful, idyllic spot. It wasn't always that way. It was the hospital for these soldiers. My uncle probably died there. History tells us we can't trust our government. Today we know we can't trust them. Nothing has changed. Rise up, people. Take a stand. Be brave. The futures of our children and grandchildren depend on us.
Good on you, love. Another grandma. Eh?
Go to grandma.
Yeah. Another grandma standing up.
Go the grandmas indeed. Look, Jody Lowe has come up with this idea. He's basically calling for a cans to communist Canberra. So he's saying that basically we put together a convoy, but every so often we pull up and stop for lunch each day and run a People's Common Law Court and sign either Tim's or Jackie Dundee's paperwork as a proposal. And I think that's a brilliant idea. So we go from wherever and we stop along the way everywhere we can and basically do live streaming and, get people on board and we converge on Canberra.
Friday night we got Jackie, Tim, and Carl coming on, guys, for a bit of a chat about a few things. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, well look, we're nearly at 1:30, so I'll just bring on the flyers.
Cool.
And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggie's, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggie's. And there is a call out to put Forests of the Fallens outside of the courthouses across the nation. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And Jackie Dundee has issued a court call-out for Dr. Valerie at the County Court tomorrow on Thursday, the 5th of June at 9 a.m. and Dr. Beverley at the Federal Court on Friday, the 6th of June at 10 a.m, both in Melbourne. Leave Our Kids Alone are having a public gathering at the office of Jacinta Allen, 140 Mollison Street, Bendigo, on Friday, the 6th of June at 12 p.m. And there is an urgent call to action. Dr. Beverley Peers is challenging the validity of state acts and the corporation policies forcing vaccination to be able to work. Her matter affects all Australians, and if successful, the states have lost their strongest control tactic over the people. Please support her in this fight for all Australians. And there is a court call-out in Ballarat at the Ballarat Magistrates Court on Thursday, the 12th of June. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance, lest we forget. Daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 14623
Well, it's great to see so many people actually know about the vinegar and salt and why you put a couple of drops of dishwashing liquid in, guys, because that makes it stick to the plants, okay, or the weeds that you're trying to kill. Now, don't go killing your good weeds. Get a book first, right? Before you go spraying and killing things, you're going to find a lot of good remedy stuff out in your garden, guys. All right, just needs to be washed off. Why? Because what's coming down from the sky is still not good. Although some people tell you it's a good guy spraying, but I don't think so.
Well, we've actually got a clip on that at the moment, but let's do Kamala. Let's do Kamala in Australia.
What a joke this is, guys. Look at this.
Of unmistakable authority. 9
For a
unmarked
hoe.
SUVs, police motorbikes, and a full US Secret Service detail.
Look at all the cars. Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, it's just next level.
State and federal police patrolling the perimeter of presidential-style protection and entrance for the headline speaker.
It's Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris given a rousing reception at the Australasian Real Estate Conference. Guests put through strict security screenings after paying $1,000 a ticket to hear her talk for an hour.
The dream of home ownership is one of the greatest challenges that they face.
A diplomatic silence around one topic, the man who cost her the presidency, Donald Trump.
It was really cool to remove sort of all the political stuff away and strip back to see who she really is.
Engaging and considered and super eloquent.
When lightly pressed on her next move,
To walk down those steps.
and out the door she went, leaving in the same...
I can't believe it. She's a
Did she tell anyone how to inside a trade? Did she give anyone any ideas on how she makes all her millions by knowing what, and manipulating the stock market with her little buddies? I bet you're not.
just like Pelosi, she's notorious for it as well. But look, JD Vance came out and said this afterwards.
That is shocking about the prior government, about the government we inherited the White House from, is if I, on January the 21st, in fact, I did ask this question, where are the biggest deficiencies in our supply chains? What are the 100 products that we're completely reliant on some other entity to make for us? Where are they made, and how hard would it be to onshore that manufacturing? I asked that explicit question, and the answer was, we don't know. Nobody in the prior government had actually asked these very fundamental questions. And so what is so crazy about the hyper-globalized era is that you had these basic questions about the brittleness of our supply chains that were completely uninvestigated by the very people who supported globalizing those supply chains. We were actually governed by complete morons, and we didn't even realize it until the Trump administration started to get underneath the hood.
I like it. And then what's happened as well. Now, this is interesting because remember last week Trump put out he retruthed the Biden's been dead for 2 years, or 3 years or whatever it was. Anyway, so Raven Harrison, who's a US House candidate from Florida, claims to have uncovered evidence suggesting that Joe Biden's face is a synthetic mask controlled by a robotic clone.
Well,
interesting times we live in. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, maybe there's a clone section in Central Casting, mate. You can sort of pick what you want. I don't know. I haven't been in there to look actually. Maybe I should. Maybe I should put my name down for Central Casting. I could play Guru.
You could. But the thing is, though, that there's a lot of interesting things. Now, we've been called conspiracy theorists for a lot of the stuff that Trump is now saying, such as this one.
We'll have some very interesting plans. I always thought they should have built a beautiful performing center, open air, facing out over the Potomac. They didn't do that. They built these crazy rooms underneath. They built 3 tiny little stages, very expensive. Someday, maybe somebody will occupy one. They're underground. In fact, when I looked from a distance, you see these like hubs, concrete hubs, and I thought it was modern art. Well, here we go with the modern art blocking everybody's view. And when I actually went over there, I said, no, it wasn't modern art. It was meant for a door to be in, so you go down to these rooms. So I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they spent a lot of money. And it's just not possible that they could have spent it so poorly. But we're going to turn it around. That's what I love doing. I love turning things around.
So he's talking about underground bunkers, something that we've talked about, and been called conspiracy. Now he's a chief conspiracy theorist.
Well, yeah. Someone just said he actually paid for the Secret Service for Kamala. I don't know about that, but yeah, I got no idea, guys. One hell of a crazy movie, this, I'm telling you. I don't trust anyone. I do not trust anybody.
It is indeed. And then you've got the situation where RFK's talked about the chemtrails. This guy breaks it down really well. He actually knows. We know now who it is. It's DARPA.
Come out, made some statements about the chemtrails. It's kind of a good news, bad news kind of deal, and then it actually gets kind of worse. But let's just fucking get into it. RFK says that the chemtrails do not fall under his authority at HHS. He says the chemtrails are being run out of DARPA, which would fall under the DOD, which would be under Pete Hegseth's authority as the Secretary of Defense. Now, does the Secretary of Defense even have a say over what DARPA does? Because DARPA does some dirty shit, just like chemtrails. RFK also says he knows how they're doing it. He says they're mixing it directly into the jet fuel. Aluminum, barium, boron, darium, all kinds of basically all the worst shit. Yeah, they just mix it right into the jet fuel, and somebody's going to say, oh, you can't mix it in the jet fuel, it'll ruin a jet engine. Jet engine does not work like an internal combustion engine. There's not a fucking piston to build up aluminum on. And the aluminum's nanoparticles. In the jet engine, the fire is actually behind all the moving parts, behind the turbines, yeah. So that's how that works. So that's how they're doing it. It's not going into all the planes, just going into wherever they move this fuel about to. So, and here's where it gets worse. All the state laws that are being passed against geoengineering and spraying chemtrails, they don't fucking matter. Because the state's authority to do anything only goes up to 2,000 feet. Above 2,000 feet, that's federal airspace. Those are federal problems. So the states can pass whatever fucking laws they want about spraying shit, and as long as the motherfuckers are doing it above 2,000 feet, there's the fine print that'll fuck you in the ass. So...
All right, so you can actually pull up the
well, I didn't even think of that. That's a very good point. I wonder if Australia's the same with our airspace. We'd have to look into that, guys. Yeah, we will.
Well, yeah, but now you can just easily go and just type in patents for geoengineering or jet fuel. The patents have been around for probably about 15 years. So, yeah, so this one's actually from 2009. So quite a while back. Anyway, so yeah. If anyone wants to go have a look, by all means, go have a look. Now, a couple of other things that are really interesting here, and first of all, Greta is stuck off the coast of Greece.
We are reporting here from the Madeleine. We are right now at 80 kilometers from Greek lands and 68 kilometers from Greek territorial waters. What happened is that we just spotted a drone, and we confirmed it is a drone, but we just lost visual with it. It could have either turned back or turned up the lights. We have our safety procedures here, and it demands us to go get all of our life jackets. We prepare to alert level at the maximum, especially if it's approaching us, and we sound...
Now, Dave, do you believe that?
I don't know, Caz. I really don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now other international news. We've got this. Basically, within 10 hours, there were 50,000 signatures, and now it's up in 24 hours. It's 100K signatures to stop financial support for asylum seekers.
Great.
And then you've got the Dutch government has collapsed because what's his name? Geert Wilders, is it? Has not compromised, and he's basically left the party. So there's no coalition to be had.
Mate, there's going to be some vacuums in some places, and this is the problem, you know what I mean? But anyway, we've got to look after our little section here. We will have no vacuum here, guys, because we have just on our program here, our viewership, we got enough people to run this country and manage this country. You know, yous are all very smart people. We all are, you know? Like, we got no problems, guys. No problems at all. Okay, we just got to stand up, take it back, and then, get this place happening again.
There is some interesting Q news. So there's the USNS Comfort. It's 1,000 beds hospital ship. It's the same ship that they deployed after the COVID. It's a disaster response, mass trauma and emergency containment. It's popped up again. So I found that very, very fascinating. And the other thing is this blue chip.
This gentleman here, Matty, we are in a field. Yeah, I mean, like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, middle of fucking nowhere. And I've come here and this gentleman has been vaccinated. And because he's been vaccinated, you can see on here that he's got a Bluetooth medium access control chip. Yeah, and you can see here that it doesn't, I can't connect to it because I need an app. Yeah, this is what COVID means. It literally means certificate of vaccination identification. This is your new ID, like your fuck.
Just crazy. We haven't really covered that a lot.
Yeah, but we've been saying it for how many years? You know what I mean? Like, we may not have. Yeah, we know what's going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just feel like you're just repeating yourself in the end. But one of the things that we don't know enough about is the history of the Irish slaves. So I thought we'd include
Irish
that one.
people were the first slaves in America, and nobody talks about it. They were ripped from their homes in Ireland, chained like animals, and sold for less than African slaves. In the 1600s, they were called white cargo, over 300,000, shipped off to the Caribbean and American colonies. They worked brutal sugar plantations, under a sun that didn't care what color their skin was. Many died from disease, beatings, and starvation. Their graves, unmarked. Their names, forgotten. Some were crammed into coffin ships, packed below deck like freight, never to return. Even the word redneck, it comes from the Irish, burned raw in the Caribbean heat. But while others were freed, remembered, or repaid, the Irish got nothing. History was rewritten. They were renamed indentured servants, just to silence the truth. No reparations, no monuments, no place in the classroom, because pain has no color and truth has no side.
Yeah, it's really like there's so much slavery and that sort of stuff. Now we have had a win today, which I forgot to cover earlier. So congratulations to Rod Cullerton. So he was in the Federal Court of Australia this morning under Section 92 argument that is in the national interest, to whereby he appeared bright-eyed and bushy-tailed before the judge. Futile. He was able to circumvent the summary dismissal by the defendants, being the West Australian State Government, who were continuing to rely on the Emergency Management Act 2005 to continue to place a prohibition, being a free right to travel throughout the Commonwealth under Section 92 of the Commonwealth. He's actually made the note down the bottom here that Clive Palmer's case of 2021 was bad in law. And for this reason, we must not allow the state law to alter these effects of the Section 92 under the constitutional guarantees and the right to travel.
Good on you, Rod. Well done.
Yeah, go
bit by bit, we're chipping this wall down, guys. We are chipping away at it.
Yeah, we are. What are we at? 43. You go, Dave. Well, look, we're being taken out by We Need You, God. Okay, and I thought that was quite appropriate. So yeah, if you would like to wrap up, close the show, I shall hit play.
No worries. Well, guys, look, again, as I say, we're just seeing the results of 4 or 5 years in the trenches, guys. Numerous times we thought we were there. We're not there yet, okay, but we're well on the way and we're pretty well organised. As I said, we got no worries about running this country. We got some really smart people around, guys. Really smart people. So let's just wake up. Like, yeah, all those people that paid $1,000 to go and see Kamala, mate, I cannot believe that. Was that real footage? Is that how many people were there, Caz, or was that doctored up too? I don't really know, because you don't trust anything these days. But
no, there's so much fake stuff around. I've been caught several times. I'm just like, oh, hang on a minute.
So, remember, there's one person to discern through, guys, because he's got the plan. All right? It's your creator. All right? So, yeah, get in touch with him. Work out what we're doing. Good luck to Jody doing what he's doing. We'll back him up all we can if that's what he's going to do. Every little bit helps, guys, and every little bit of exposure and information and education is what we need. Not indoctrination, but education. All right, good night, guys. Have a great one. Great song coming up.
I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. you see the truth?